Happy Friday, everybody. We're on the air. Barely. Boy, it's a good thing you don't know what goes on behind the scenes around here. 12th day of September 2025. I am Dan Koontz. It's Friday. If you're familiar with the show, you know what Fridays are all about if you're new to the program. Quick little run through. We're here Mondays. We work. We don't work real hard. Tuesdays are, well, they're like Mondays. Wednesday, we kind of lean forward a little bit, try put a little effort into the program. Thursday, we get all of our ducks lined up in a row. And Fridays, we give you a 5-star show. So I have to live up to my end of the bargain. You can do yours. 66 degrees. It's hazy again. Going to be hazy again today. It's going to be warmer than normal. We hit 85 yesterday. Our normal high is now 78. Every day this entire month of September, with one exception, we have had our afternoon high temperatures above normal. It would be obviously well above normal if it wasn't for the smoke and the haze, which is keeping our high temperatures down a little bit. 2 more days of pretty nice weather outside of the smoke. And then things will start changing Saturday night and Sunday. Some much needed precipitation could happen on Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. We'll get all those forecast downs. We need a nice, about a 36-hour period of wetting rain. That's not in the forecast, but at least we're going to get some raindrops on Sunday and Sunday night. Details coming up. News. Yes. They've cleaned up all the pairs, by the way, in front of Fred Meyer. That was a traffic nightmare for you folks yesterday. Feel sorry for you. Lots and lots of sports. I had no idea there was a guy named Harry Ford that was even on the Mariner roster. You're all going to get to know Harry Ford when we get to sports highlights of last night's Panther victory over the Pirates in high school volleyball. We'll preview the entire weekend of prep activity. There's a lot to talk about there. And speaking of sporting activities, online registration is closed, but you can still show up and just sign up tomorrow at Walla Walla Point Park for the 3rd annual Dick Piper Memorial Handball Tournament. It used to be an Apple Blossom event in April. They've moved it to September so they would know they would have slightly more cooperative weather, if you will. Mike Fabian is a member of the Central Washington Handball Club. You want to get into handball, you want to play in a tournament, or just learn about it, make some new friends, you'll want to be at Walla Walla Point Park tomorrow morning. We'll talk about that with Mike in the back half of the program. It is tour time at almost 3 minutes after the hour. Let's see what our PTZ cameras are looking at this morning. There is we got the little birdies hanging around the Wenatchee Heights. Again, pretty dirty air. Whoa, watch out, birds. I'm trying to talk here. It's distracting. 61 is our AQI here in the big city. 61, that is moderate. Once again, Aniat, 169. Of course, Aniat is pretty close to the lower Sugarland fire, which, by the way, is now above 15,000 acres, which is why we got the smoke and the haze again here in the big city. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Camera number 2. We are off to Billy Goats, USA. Gorgeous view there. You can't quite make out Pateris. You can't quite make out Brewster. You can't see Bridgeport at all because it's hid behind that little ridge to your right. Looks a tad smoky up there as well. The AQI right now in Omak is a 64, which isn't too bad up there. It's 65 in Okanagan, so they're in the moderate range as well as far as the AQI. It just looks dirtier because that camera is showing a lot of real estate. That's a good chunk of acreage you can see there. We only have 3 cameras working this morning, so we'll switch to the 3rd camera. Lake Wenatchee chimes in. Good morning to Lake Wenatchee. It's not too bad there. I think the air quality there up at the Lake Wenatchee area at this time yesterday was considerably worse because they had a little bit of smoke from the fire that was actually blowing into the Lake Wenatchee area. It looks like it's better now. They don't have a air quality monitor there, so I don't know what it is, but it doesn't look too bad up Lake Wenatchee way. Warm and dry for a couple more days. After hitting 85 yesterday, we'll be a little bit warmer than that today because we're off to a little bit warmer start. We are at 67 right now, so we're going to climb up to about 88. Again, hazy and smoky most of the day today. Haze again tonight, about 60 for the overnight low. May not have as much haze tomorrow. They're saying sunny, but not quite as smoky and hazy as today. We're going to hold them to it, the National Weather Service anyway, with a high tomorrow of 88. Then, while you're sleeping Saturday night, the clouds will roll in as a weak system begins to pass through our area, and some beneficial rain. Boy, do we need it on Sunday. Basically, rain chances in the afternoon hours on Sunday. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, right to about sunset. We have about a 40% chance of showers late Sunday spilling into Sunday night. And then it's gone, and we go right back to sunshine and temperatures moderating a little bit. Keep in mind now, our afternoon high is now 78, so we're going to be above that for the next couple of days, slightly below that on Sunday, and then above normal again, but lots of sunshine as a ridge of high pressure begins to move into our area on Tuesday, and it looks like it may be around for a while. All right, that's what Mother Nature has in store for us. In 2 minutes, I'll let you know what's going on around here. It's a program we like to call the news. And it's next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NSW Life channel.
How you doing this morning?
I'm Peter Kay, and this is the Go Home Morning Run.
I moved to Wenatchee last year, no car, and Link Transit saved me the first day I was here. If I didn't have the link, I would have had to walk blocks and blocks to get to work. So I used it for sightseeing, used it to get groceries. I'm thinking, do I need a car? I don't think I do. I don't know why you wouldn't ride the bus. I'm Peter Nyblum, and Link is how I roll.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
At Cascade Subaru Wenatchee, we believe that all pets deserve a loving home. That's why, for the Subaru Loves Pets initiative this September and October, we are providing direct funding to our local shelter, Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
So Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, we're thrilled to partner with Cascade Subaru and the ASPCA to host an adoption event here at Cascade Subaru on September 20th from 11 to 2. We'll have shelter pets here that you can come and meet, and we hope you'll consider taking one home.
As you can see behind me, it is smoky, it is hazy, it is 67 degrees. We'll be upper 80s, another very mild September day in store for us. Same deal tomorrow, some rain, and we need it on Sunday afternoon. Not a big chance, about a 40% chance of precipitation, but we'll take what we can get. And then next week looks pretty sunny. Pretty warm. It's 8 minutes after the hour. Well, if you were driving anywhere near the Senator George Seller Bridge yesterday afternoon, for most of the afternoon, it was bad going because of that. A semi carrying crates of pears took a spill on Highway 28 right in front of Fred Meyer. It dumped its load of fruit onto the nearby pedestrian trail. Obviously caused some significant traffic headaches. They rolled out to this accident at about 12:45 yesterday afternoon, and it went past even 5 o'clock or more. Of course, they had to clean up a whole bunch of spilled pears. They had to use tractors and shovels to get it all cleaned up. That's why the traffic was so bad. We've reached out, by the way, to the East Wenatchee Police Department to find out about how the crash happened and whether there are going to be any injuries or citations. We'll have more on this tonight at 5 o'clock. Well, the growth of large wildfires in Chelan County has led to a local emergency declaration. The Chelan County Board of Commissioners on Tuesday adopted a resolution saying that the Lower Sugarloaf Fire and the ongoing Palmas Fire in eastern Chelan County amounts to a disaster. That declaration allows the county to bypass normal spending procedures to speed the release of emergency and disaster relief funds if they need to. The Sugarloaf incident poses a threat to the Aniat and Chumstick valleys. As of this morning, it's now over 15,000 acres. The Palmas Fire has been burning since June in more remote mountains, but it still threatens the communities of Holden Village and Lucerne. More than 800 personnel are working to build containment lines around the Sugarloaf Fire, which has put communities, including the town of Ardenvohr, under a level 2 evacuation notice. Chelan County Commissioners on Tuesday also heard a grievance brought by the Teamsters Union. They represent supervisors and deputies at the Chelan County Sheriff's Office. Our media partners at the Wenatchee World reports that the union outlined so-called secret complaints that had been made against supervisors in the Sheriff's Office and then added to their personnel files without their knowledge. Dave Simmons is the union representative, and he requested that the Sheriff's Office be required to destroy the complaints and reverse any sustained findings. Dan Osment is Chelan County's undersheriff, and he said no files were kept secret, and the office was following a standard procedure to track citizen complaints against supervisors and deputies. The commissioners did not make a decision on Tuesday, but are expected to release a written recommendation in the next few days. The Washington State Department of Ecology is proposing a new air quality general order for data centers that use emergency generators powered by diesel. It would affect those data centers in East Wenatchee, Malaga, and Quincy. An air quality general order is a group permit that simplifies the air permitting process as opposed to issuing a series of individual permits. Ecology says the draft order requirements are designed to ensure any increase in air pollution from a new or modified source is minimized. The order regulates emissions from future data centers. It requires an applicant to meet specific conditions and compliance measures, and it limits installation of emergency diesel engines to 21. Ecology is hosting an online public forum on September 23rd with a presentation. If you're interested in attending, you can find a link right there on our website by going to our website, ncwlife.com. Well, a new children's bilingual book combining reading and the outdoors can now be enjoyed while walking the Jacobson Preserve trailhead. Days and Days, written by Ginger Fogelsong Guy, is the latest children's book to be hosted on Storywalk. That's a partnership between NCW Libraries and the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. Readers can enjoy the story in installments as they walk the trail. The partnership is part of a national movement to inspire a greater love of nature and reading. The Land Trust encourages families to stop by their office to pick up a free kids goodie bag while supplies last. The picture book is available to be reserved online, or you can borrow it from a branch of NCW Libraries. And of course, yesterday, 24th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, and many folks gathered at the Spirit of America Memorial in Kashmir. Former Governor Gary Locke, by the way, was the keynote speaker at the Sculpture Plaza. It was established in 2015 at the Kashmir Riverside Center to honor the nearly 3,000 victims of September 11th, 2001. The main sculpture depicts four firefighters, representative of those who died in the attacks in the World Trade Center and at the Pentagon. The ceremony featured military honors, including a rifle salute from members of the American Legion. Glad we played a part in promoting that. And that's the news at just about 14 minutes after the hour. One more newscast comes your way before we get to start a weekend, a much-deserved weekend. The news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight on television, 5, 6, and 10. Grant is off. That means Jefferson will be in the anchor chair, and I'll be handling the weather forecast. That alone is worth the price of tuning in at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. If that doesn't work on your schedule, our news will be posted on our YouTube page and on our homepage right around 5 o'clock. And don't forget now, we're on Roku. We're on that Amazon Fire Stick if you got that little baby. We're on Apple TV Plus. We have an app. We have an Instagram. We have an X. We have a toaster oven in the kitchen. We're proud of all of those things. And if you have a news tip, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you. We've gotten some pretty significant stories thanks to you folks. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. You like sports? Well, we got a lot of it in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel. Experience the music of ABBA with Abra Cadabra, coming to the Wenatchee Valley for the first time this fall at the America Performing Arts Center, September 21st. Don't miss this family-friendly stage extravaganza, receiving rave reviews from coast to coast. For tickets and info, go to iloveabba.com. That's iloveabba.com.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
16 minutes after the hour, for the first time in a long time, the Mariners are back in first place in the American League West. They're tied with Houston. And, well, thank you very much, Harry Ford. He's a rookie. He barely plays, but he did what he had to do last night. He hit a walk-off RBI sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 12th to hand Seattle a 7-6 win. That's 6 in a row for the Mariners now, and they're now tied with the Astros atop the division.
Giving Davis a clean look. Down the line, fair ball into the corner. Raley trots home and scores. Rivas, pedal to the metal. He's coming home, and the Mariners strike first. A 2-run second inning already, thanks now to J.P. Crawford. Fly ball, left field, and it short hops the wall. Crawford in, Rosarena right on his heels, and Julio has made this a 4-0 Mariners lead.
Fly ball right center field. This is hit pretty deep. It's Raley back out near the wall. It is gone. Logan Davidson powers out a home run, and the Angels get on the board here in the third. Taylor with a fly ball to right center, deep enough to at least score a run and move the other runner over. Rodriguez makes the catch. Moncada comes home. Ward goes to third. So as far as productive outs, can't get much more productive than that. And Renifa will drive in a run with that ground ball. Crawford throws him out, but another productive out. After the single and double to start the inning, the Angels move the runners along, and they've made it a 1-run game. 3-2. And Trout drives one, left field, back for to Rosarena. There is home run number 399 for Mike Trout.
In his 34th in this ballpark.
Ground ball up the middle, that's a base hit. Trout comes home, and Taylor Ward with his 97th RBI gives the Angels the lead.
Boy, you just got to right back up the middle.
To right field, touches down, base hit. This ball game is tied. J.P. Crawford, ring the bell in the 11th inning.
Runner going from first, and a liner off the glove of Crawford, a base hit.
Good swing there. That's why you want him to swing away and hit a rocket for an RBI single.
Rivero comes home. Matthew Lugo gets a big run batted in.
Infield in now. Line tie game. Wow, that happened fast. Polanco racing to second base. In business in the 12th inning. Jorge Polanco.
Give me a sack, Harry.
What did you ask for? Is it deep enough? Polanco is on his way home. Here it comes. He's safe. Harry Ford. Harry Ford. Welcome to the big leagues. The Mariners are in first place.
After the game, he was greeted with an ice bucket, some shaving cream, and a visit from Jen Mueller at Root Sports.
At what point did you head underneath to start getting ready for that at-bat? I tell you what, that's a pretty good way to finish off your night there. And then you get chants from the crowd. Harry, I don't think this gets any better. But at what point did you start preparing for that at-bat, knowing that it might be a possibility for you?
Honestly, I was getting ready to go pinch run. I didn't think I was going to get in the hit, but they told me I was going to get the hit. I was like, let's do it.
Okay, so then what did you have to shift in your mindset, or how many swings did you get in?
I didn't take a swing. I just went up there.
Okay, so you swing at the first pitch you see. Is that what you were hoping for?
Yeah, I mean, it was a fastball, middle, hit the other way. I mean, that's it. That's it. It's simple.
Mariners, by the way, are in first place this late in the season for the first time since 2001. Houston wasn't even in the American League, by the way. The Astros got shut out by Toronto. Thank you, Blue Jays. So there are your standings. The Mariners and the Astros tied for first. Good job, guys. Let me tell you about the college football. Only the Cougars in Eastern Washington have college football games this weekend. Cougars are at North Texas. That's tomorrow at 12:30. You can watch it on ESPNU. I can't. I don't have it. The Eagles still looking for their first win. They're at Illinois tomorrow. Good luck, Northern Illinois tomorrow, I should say, at 2 o'clock. That's on ESPN+. The Huskies in Central Washington get the weekend off, as do I. Seahawks face a road test in week 2 of the NFL season. They're in Pittsburgh. Steelers are 1-0 after an opening win against the Jets. Seahawks 0-1 after losing at home to San Francisco. Sunday's game kicks off at 10 a.m. on Fox. For the rest of the NFC West, here's your schedule. 49ers have a 10 a.m. kickoff as well. They'll be in Nolens on Fox. The Rams will visit Tennessee at 10 o'clock on CBS. Arizona's at home for a 1:05 kickoff against Carolina, also on the Columbia Broadcasting System. Well, Wenatchee opened defense of their Big 9 volleyball title with a win over a very good Davis squad. Last night, Panthers held off a hard charge by the Pirates in the first set at Wenatchee High School. They went on for the sweep. Our own Eric Granstrom had the call right here on the NCW Life channel.
And the Pirates looking to take the lead here on the service by Gasling after the timeout by Wenatchee. Panthers have been kind of in scramble mode for the last several points here. Davis with the set, the kill attempt cross court, as Hull couldn't quite get all that you wanted to on it. And here is a point to Wenatchee. Win 3, you win the match. It'll be Barry on the service. Barry's service, back line, Davis with the return. Here's a set. Hull not quite, again, comfortable with the kill. Wenatchee then has the chance. Davis there for the counter. Another kill attempt off the mark by Cheyenne Hull will fall on the Davis side and give Wenatchee the first set here tonight by a final of 25-23 with the service. Wenatchee back on top here, our second lead change of the contest. Beautiful kill attempt by Hull up front for Davis. Here with a swipe is for Wenatchee, Lunstra, and she'll get the point. Demersion on the service now for Wenatchee. She likes to go right down the line where she serves from. Kill attempt by Hull, return by Wenatchee. Panthers got it back across. Demersion goes back line to it. Falling down was Henderson. She didn't get a clean hit on it. A point away from winning this set, but Davis having everything to say to the opposite. Henderson again with the service, goes back line. There is the Panthers, and oh my, just a matter of luck. Ball hit and blocked and falls in and will be a point to Wenatchee. Student body hollering loudly, and that will be, nope, it's still alive. Davis, I thought, was going to lose it right there. Reverse set, left-handed kill by Nell. Saved by Davis. Henderson pushes it back over. Berry is there. Here's the kill attempt. It was deep, and Davis with the swipe. Now it is Stanley redirecting it. Up front it comes. Here's the kill from the back line, and oh my gosh, what a thunderous hit by Demersion. Glances off of a Pirate and out of bounds, and the Wenatchee Panthers will get the sweep here tonight.
Yeah, I think we definitely stepped up in this game and just kind of got all of our aggression out. It was a really good game to just hit away and just get all of our aggression out. Yeah.
You've seen this team before. They're pretty good. Were you a little surprised? Did you expect what they gave you tonight? Because it seems that they had a little run. Every time you guys got some separation, they came right back at you.
Yeah, I think we're definitely still figuring out how to keep teams low on runs right now. But yeah, I think they put out a great game, and we just had that built up energy that we had from the Linden game. So
I think the girls did great. I mean, obviously there were some runs late in the game that we let them come back by points, and we were making some errors on our end that we got to clean up. But honestly, for our first home game out, it's our first league match. We're early in the season. We have a whole new team trying to figure out our chemistry, and we're trying to figure out our groove. And I'm just so proud for the girls to pull out those sets that were close and to get the job done and to go 3-0.
Congratulations to the Panthers. Eastmont had a tougher whole of it. Here's a look at all the volleyball scores from last night. They went down to Eisenhower, and they got swept 25-17, 25-15, 25-20. Moses Lake swept Sunnyside. LaSalle, they took care of Quincy. Chelan swept Ephrata. Kashmir took down Royal in 3 sets. Tonasket topped Omak. It took 4 sets there. Liberty Bell swept Cascade, and Reardon beat Lake Roosevelt. That's what happened. Here's what's going to happen. There'll be 48 teams in the Sun Dome in Yakima this weekend. Kashmir will be there. Manson, Pateros, Eastmont, Wenatchee. It's the Sun Dome Volleyball Festival. It's over the weekend. Other action Saturday. Brewster will host Aniat at noon in volleyball. Tonasket welcomes Davenport at 2. Omak travels to Colville at 2:30. Wenatchee won. Eastmont won. Moses Lake won in soccer last night. No problems for the Panthers. They blasted Davis in Yakima 6-0. Eastmont edged Eisenhower. Great game there. 3-2. Moses Lake got by Sunnyside 3-2. Another action. Quincy blanked Brewster 2-0. Kashmir topped Royal on the pitch 1-0. Cascade belted Liberty Bell 7-0. Omak over Chelan. Bridgeport beat Lake Roosevelt on the pitch. Soccer schedule, a busy Saturday. Look at all that. Hopefully they'll be able to play, smoke notwithstanding. Cascade is at Omak at 11. Chelan will host Bush. Brewster welcomes Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls. Davenport will visit Tonasket. Liberty Bell will host Lake Roosevelt. Pateros will be at Manson. A couple of games started noon in soccer. East Valley at Ephrata. Quincy will host Othello. Eastmont visits Ridgeline at 1 o'clock. Wenatchee will be at Meade at 3 o'clock. And Kashmir will face College Place. That will actually take place in Royal. Let me tell you about the high school football. Week 2 of the prep football season. Actually, week 1 for Eastmont, of course. The Wildcats were supposed to play Bonnie Lake at home last weekend. The game was canceled because of the smoke. Defensive tackle Tyson Gonzalez and Coach Jay Foster admitted it was a big letdown.
It was pretty hard on us. We prepared all week and we were ready to play them, and it just I was ready to play and just couldn't play at the last second, so it was pretty frustrating. We didn't do anything for the rest of the weekend. I think we just all were upset and just decided to put it in the past.
The kids worked hard all week. You're preparing. You're trying to get ready. You feel good. You've set yourself up, and then you're getting yourself emotionally ready, and then that letdown's kind of a bummer. The kids wanted to play. We wanted to try to go there, and they couldn't make it work. And up and down the valley last week was just a mess. So it is what it is. We move on. We talk to the kids about that. The thing that you lose is that first game experience. And that's something that we'll find out when we line up here against Post Falls.
Yep, they line up against Post Falls in Idaho tonight. Post Falls have already played a couple of games. That puts them up on Eastmont. Coach Foster says the Bulldogs are similar to the team that beat Eastmont last year.
They were a big physical team, and you know, they wanted to pound you. They threw the ball up a couple times. They've got a couple big, long, wide receivers, which they had the same thing last year. And you know, we get the roster exchange and all that good stuff, and so they've got the same thing. And you know, we're not exactly the tallest guys in the secondary, so the things that they do, I expect them to do again. You know, they'll take their shots when they think they got the opportunity. But they're a running team at heart. You know, that guy's an ex-college football coach from Central, and you know, he wants to establish the ground game. He wants to establish a physical presence.
Yeah, Eastmont didn't play last week. Wenatchee did. They had to go to Coeur d'Alene, but they beat Post Falls 23-13. Coach Taylor Mitchell of the Wenatchee Panthers said the Panthers were very adept at changing their game plan on the fly.
Proud of the way our kids, though, stayed focused through it all. You know, we went to bed Friday night. 7 a.m. We told the kids, you're at the high school 7 a.m. We'll make the call. We're either loading up on a bus or you're going to go home, rest up, and we have a 7 p.m. game at home. So proud of the way that the kids responded, hopping on the bus. It was hot, playing on grass, which, you know, we're not accustomed to in our league anymore. It's Eastmont, and that's it. You know, again, warm conditions, really similar to last year, to be honest with you. Really similar makeup of a Lake City team that we saw a year ago. Big, tall, athletic quarterback, physical football team. But our kids, you know, we won the fourth quarter, putting up 14 points, which made the difference in the game. So super proud of the way that our kids responded all week, and obviously during the game Saturday.
They got to concentrate on football, almost all of the Panthers, with the exception of two-way senior starter John Gutzweiler. Not only did he have to practice football, he had to go to school, and he had to deal with a pig.
You know, I was at the fair the whole time too, so it was a little nerve-wracking. It was a roller coaster of emotions, but at the end of the day, you just got to put the ball down, play some football. Yeah, I had a pig at the fair.
Okay. How did that go?
That went really well, actually. I sold it for $10 a pound. So that was Thursday and Friday. Thursday I had a market class show. Friday I had fitting and showing. And then Saturday was the auction. I had to hand it off to another kid so he could sell my pig.
Did you name your pig?
I named him Tim.
Why Tim?
Well, it was a filler spot when I was sending out letters to companies to ask for a buyer. I wrote it down on my phone. I just put in first name I could think of. And then I had a pen, I was writing out my letter, and I just wrote down Tim, and I thought I'd just stick with that.
Panthers are on the road tonight. They'll be at Mount Si. These two teams played last year. Coach Mitchell said he spent a lot of time studying that film.
A year ago, watching the game, we had some first half turnovers. We kind of got down big early. Came back late in the fourth quarter, made it a 2-possession football game, had the ball. We're trying to go down there and make it a 1-possession game. But turnovers early in the game made a difference, I think. And I'll wear some of that as being the head coach, calling the offensive plays, put ourselves in a bad position in the first half. Mount Si is a good football team. They'll be in the playoffs or in contention to make the playoffs this year. Good defense, they're solid up front. I think one of the better linebacker cores that we'll see this year. But I think there's some things with how versatile our depth is at a number of different positions. I think there's things that we can do offensively to move the ball, give ourselves a chance, and then defensively we came away with a couple key turnovers last week. That's going to be the key this week too.
Rest of the Big Nine schedule looks like this. It's all non-league games, as you might imagine. It's West Valley. They'll be visiting Lakeland, and Davis will host Sandpoint, and Sunnyside will visit Coeur d'Alene. Then tomorrow, Mount Rainier will be at Eisenhower. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff, and the Mavericks of Moses Lake has a 3 o'clock kickoff at North Creek, as it were. Following last week's big win over Wapato, Cashmere stays on the road tonight. They're at Keona Benton. Royal visits College Place. Natchez Valley will host Zilla, while Luke visits Wapato, and Othello will take on Connell. CWAC features the Battle of the Basin, this time in Quincy. Jackrabbits and Ephrata will do battle tonight. East Valley will visit Grandview. Sela plays at Ellensburg. Prosser will host Toppenish. Caribou Trail League Cascades on the west side at Coopville tonight, and Omak is hosting Meridian. Oregon. Brewster visits Chelan. And the B schedule looks something like this. Manson will be at Lind, Ritzville, Sprague, Simon, and Garfunkel. That's at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock features kickoff as Liberty Bell at Okanagan. Chelan will host Brewster. Lake Roosevelt rolls to Reardon. Bridgeport will host Tekoa, Rosella. St. John, Endicott, La Crosse, Bachman Turner Overdrive. They'll be in Soap Lake. Waterville, Mansfield will host Odessa. Antioch is at DeSales. Moses Lake Christian hosts Yakima Tribal. And the Wenatchee Wild wrap up their preseason with 2 road games this weekend. They visit Portland tomorrow at 2:30 and then Tri-City Sunday at 2. The regular season begins for the Wild 1 week from tomorrow at Everett. Wenatchee's first home game is the following week, September 27th, also against the Silvertips. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. Your obscure holiday, there's a number of them that you can celebrate today. Today is National Report Medicare Fraud Day. I'm not making this up. National Day of Encouragement. Keep up the good work, Tucker. A National Chocolate Milkshake Game. We're not doing any of those. Today is National Video Games Day. And let's let you know how old I am. We had Pong. In 1972 is when Pong came out. It was an Atari thing. It was just the doop, doop, doop. And it was a video game in like bars and taverns and restaurants. And then in 1976, Pong became a home entertainment system, and that's what we had. And we would be entertaining ourselves for hours playing just Pong. That was it. Good enough for us. But then Atari did something really cool in 1977. They came out with a video computer system, the VCS, and that was the first system where you had the hardware hooked into your TV with the paddles, and then you could take the individual cartridges, buy them separately, put them in the machine, and play the game. That was a big-time game changer. It would become the Atari 2600 in 1982, which was a better version than that. And then, of course, in 1985, the Nintendo Entertainment System hit the market. Same idea, just better graphics, and then on down the line to what we have now in the world of video games. The highest selling and biggest grossing video game of all time is a game I've never played, World of Warcraft. Don't know anything about it. The video game industry grosses about $75 billion worldwide every year. About 80% of all Americans play video games. The average gamer is 32 years old, and about 60% of American households have some sort of video game system. So if you're into video games, today is your day. It's 37 minutes after the hour. Today in history, it had about 14 tons of gold from the California gold rush, and it was heading back to the other side of North America. And then on September 12th, 1857, with about 14 tons of gold on board, the SS Central America sinks during a hurricane about 160 miles off the coast of North Carolina. 426 passengers and crew drowned. While the boat was in the eye of the hurricane, 153 passengers got off in lifeboats. They lived. So the ship and about 14 tons of gold went to the bottom of the Atlantic. And then in 1988, Tommy Thompson got together a syndicate. They gave him $13 million to go out and find the gold. And in 1988, Tommy Thompson found the gold. And then here came the lawsuits. 39 insurance companies filed suit. They said, hey, they paid for the damages for the shipwreck for all the lost gold in 1857, so it's our gold, not yours. This went on for a long time. Then they finally ruled that 92% of the gold that was discovered would go to the syndicate. And then Thompson was sued by the syndicate because they weren't getting their money back. Then he went into hiding for a couple of years. They couldn't find any of the gold that they supposedly found. They finally found Thompson. He was extradited to Ohio, and he basically said, I ain't got no money and I ain't got the gold. Well, he did. They found it. The syndicate got their money back. Greed will do it to you. But on the other hand, it was 14 tons of gold, so what would that be worth nowadays? The ship went down on this day in 1857. We chased Lily Lecter. We finally struck Bonanza with a gun and a rope. Bonanza Premieres on the National Broadcasting Company, September 12, 1959, the very first regularly scheduled television program presented in color. For the first 2 seasons, the ratings were okay, but not great. NBC wanted to cancel Bonanza because it costs a lot of money to do a 1-hour show in color, but RCA, who owned NBC, said, nope, we want to sell color television sets. They insisted that the show be renewed. For its season number 3, they moved the show to Sunday nights at 9 o'clock, and it would become the most popular and profitable show in NBC. In fact, it was a top 5 hit for 9 consecutive seasons. All of America would watch Bonanza on Sunday nights. Happy birthday to the Seahawks. 49 years ago today, the Seattle Seahawks played their very first game in the NFL. They lost to the St. Louis Cardinals 30-24 at the Kingdome. They almost won their very first game. That would have been impressive. Another state, 1994, Frank Quarter got drunk, stole a Cessna airplane, and crashed it into the White House. A single-engine Cessna 150 into the south lawn of the White House. Frank Quarter was killed. They discovered he was severely intoxicated. Radar technicians at the local airports took them a while to figure out, hey, there's an airplane out there. Anyway, Frank Quarter met his maker on this date in 1984. Birthdays. He was the grandson of a slave. He was considered one of the greatest track and field athletes this country has ever produced. Of course, the 1936 Summer Olympics in Berlin, he won 4 gold medals. He returned to the United States with 4 gold medals, international fame, and that was it. He couldn't find a job. They didn't do a ticker tape parade. He took on menial jobs. He worked as a gas station attendant. Jesse Owens did. He worked as a janitor. He worked at a dry cleaning firm. He didn't cash in on his Olympic gold. He would race against amateurs and horses for cash. Jesse Owens would eventually have to file for bankruptcy. The Jesse Owens Award is the highest accolade for a track and field athlete. Jesse Owens, born in the state in 1913. Louis C.K., 3 Peabody Awards, 3 Grammy Awards, Primetime Emmy Awards, a Screen Actors Guild Award. He is 58 years old today and the youngest of the Coots siblings. Happy birthday, Baji. We love you. She is, well, she knows how old she is. We'll just leave it at that. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsors, and we're darn proud of it. Mike McNaughty has done 300 opinions on this show. He kept track. I didn't. And then Mike Fabian is going to try to get you to play some handball tomorrow at Walla Walla Point Park. That conversation is coming up. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the Mississippi Life channel.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of a variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour MosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. When NCW Life came on the air in 2016, Dan Kuntz started his show, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan asked me to do this bit called Everyone's Entitled to Mike Mad Dog McNaughty's Opinion, and I've been doing it ever since. I recently checked and estimated that I have given my opinion on over 300 different topics. Who possibly could be filled with that much hogwash that he thinks it's interesting enough to share? I don't know if I want to answer that one. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
How you doing this morning?
I'm Peter Kay, and this is the Go Home Morning Run.
I moved to Wenatchee last year, no car, and Link Transit saved me the first day I was here. If I didn't have the link, I would have had to walk blocks and blocks to get to work. So I used it for sightseeing, used it to get groceries. I'm thinking, do I need a car? I don't think I do. I don't know why you wouldn't ride the bus. I'm Peter Nyblum, and Link is how I roll.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
At Cascade Subaru Wenatchee, we believe that all pets deserve a loving home. That's why, for the Subaru Loves Pets initiative this September and October, we are providing direct funding to our local shelter, Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
So Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, we're thrilled to partner with Cascade Subaru and the ASPCA to host an adoption event here at Cascade Subaru on September 20th from 11 to 2. We'll have shelter pets here that you can come and meet, and we hope you'll consider taking one home.
Welcome back to the program. We're down here at the Dick Piper Memorial Handball Courts at Walla Walla Point Park. The place to be on the 13th day of September is right here at the Dick Piper Memorial Handball Courts at Walla Walla Point Park. Mike Fabian, introduce yourself to our television family.
I'm Mike Fabian. Thanks for having me.
So it's coming back, the Dick Piper Memorial Handball Tournament. It was an apple blossom event for a long, long time. Kind of fell by the wayside. They brought it back a few years ago for apple blossom 3 or 4 years ago. Yep. You're taking some chances, Mike, when you do a handball tournament in late April and early May. As far as Mother Nature's concerned, you decided to move it to mid-September so you could have weather like this.
Yes, this is like the end of the three-wall season, and the nationals are going on. Everybody's jacked up about three-wall. Before we go inside and start playing the four-wall game again, so it seems like a good time to honor Dick and play some handball.
Dick was the longtime sports editor at the Wenatchee World. We lost Dick a number of years ago now, but he was a handball enthusiast. He just loved the sport, kept him in shape, keeps you in shape.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about Dick Piper and his legacy and these courts here.
You know, Dick was, I could say a million things about Dick. He was one of the supporters of Title IX. Mary Bradford, that was a great star here in the Wenatchee Valley in high school and college. He was a big supporter, never missed a game. If you go back and look through the archive, you can see that Dick Piper went to a ton of sports all the time, and you just couldn't keep him down. He was also instrumental in getting the PUD to build these courts when they built the parks, and so we're very grateful for Dick.
And you mentioned that he covered every sport you could possibly think of, but the only sport he really played with enthusiasm was handball.
That's right. That's right. He was a go-getter. He was what we call a retriever. He just wouldn't stop. Just get the ball, get the ball, get the ball.
And if you play three ball, you'll be chasing the ball a lot because if you don't hit it, it ends up over by the parking lot, as we've already discovered. September 13th. What do people? Gee, I played handball when I was a kid. Kind of fell away from it because life got in the way. I got married, got kids, now I don't have the time. Maybe I should give handball another chance. I'm a perfect example of that. I played handball when I was a kid and a teenager at the courts at the Y, but I haven't played forever. How do we get people back into the game?
Well, these guys, the Wenatchee group here, is offering free instruction, free equipment, and free time. All you got to do is show up. They generally play Tuesdays and Saturdays. But if you give Larry or me or any of the guys that you know, they'll set you up to show you the rules and the mechanics and stuff like that. And
I grew up playing 4-ball handball at the courts at the Y. And I think I played a couple of times at the Elks Club right across the street. This is outdoor. This is three-wall handball.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Yes, yes. No ceiling, so you got to keep the ball down. A normal 3-wall court has walls that come all the way out to the inline.
Mm-hmm.
These were shorter, probably because of cost. A lot of 3-wall handball courts are a little shorter. So then you have the lines, which is more like 1 wall, which is very popular in like New York, and it's the #1 adult participation sport in New York City. Every park has a 1 wall.
Because it's cheap.
It's cheap.
And that's the nice thing about handball. It doesn't. It's not like golf or yachting or skiing. It's cheap to get into.
Well, and the thing is now one thing that's getting really popular, I think Southern California kind of started it, but they were playing what they call big ball, which we use a racquetball, which is a lot softer. It's squishy, easier on your hands. I see people playing down here at the park, no gloves and no eye gear either, and that's not a good idea. You have to protect your eyes. I don't even warm up without having my eye gear on.
Because a handball is considerably harder than a racquetball.
Yes.
It doesn't have a lot of give to it.
No. A racquetball, you can propel a racquetball 110 miles an hour with a racket. A handball tops out at about 80.
So the first thing I want to tell you about on this tournament, the Dick Piper tournament on September 13th, right here where we're sitting at Walla Walla Point Park. If you haven't played handball in years or never played handball, guess what? You can enter the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So.
Yep. Everybody's welcome.
It's as simple as that. Great way to introduce yourself to the game, too.
Yes. Tournaments, and these guys can attest. I've got some of them going to tournaments now. It improves your game really fast because you see other people and you copy what they're doing and you get better.
The rules are simple.
Yes.
And it keeps you in really good shape.
It does.
It does. And hand-eye coordination, all that good stuff.
Agility, balance, you get to be our age, and balance is important. You fall down and you can be in a lot of trouble. So this game's perfect for all that stuff. Balance, agility, coordination, and it's fun.
It is fun.
And so you keep in shape and, you sweat a little. And
sweating's good for you.
Yeah, and it's a gas.
You brought in some heavy hitters for your sponsorships. CMI Orchards, the Gale Fruit Company, Hagel's Trophies, Weinstein. Greg Brown is involved in this.
Yeah,
some of your sponsors.
We're very fortunate.
Yeah.
Very fortunate. A lot of good people helping us out, trying to spread the word, and letting the guys have a great day without any financial worries.
Yeah. Although there are prizes to be had if you do well at the 3rd annual Dick Piper 3-wall handball tournament. What do people? Hopefully we planted a seed here. I want to sign up, or I just want to play handball again. I think I want to bring myself back to the game, or I've never played the game before, but it looks like it's a pretty good workout. It looks like it's a lot of fun.
Yes,
Talk
absolutely.
about that, Mike.
Absolutely. The prizes, it's all about pride. We have a traveling trophy. If you win the tournament, you get your name on the trophy, and we're just going to perpetuate that and keep it going. But no, the physical aspects of it are there's many of them. You keep your weight down, you keep your heart and your lungs in shape, your eyes, like I said, balance. A lot of these guys play until they're in their 80s and some in their 90s. But believe me, when you're playing in your 90s, whoever wins the coin toss has a good advantage because they get to serve first.
So is the tournament going to be a 2-on-2 team, or is it going to be some one-on-one action?
It's going to be doubles.
Co-ed, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be doubles. And the interesting thing about this format is that every game you switch partners. So there's 2 flights of players. There's an A and a B in each flight. And so you'll have 1A playing with 1B, and then in the next game, they will switch and you'll have a different partner. So I believe we have to hit 18 players until we can have a true draw.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's fun because you get to play with people, and most of the time, people that come to these type of format, you know, it's a one-day tournament, which makes it easy on a lot of people. Most tournaments, like 4-wall tournaments, are 3 days. So it's a Friday night, a Saturday, and a Sunday. And so the one-day tournament with the format that we use, you don't need a partner. You just show up, and we'll put you, and you'll get to play with many people. You'll get new friends, and possibly an enemy or two. You never know.
Well, they want you to sign up in advance, and there's a website. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. We'll put it on the lower third.
Yeah.
But you can actually show up at 9 o'clock in the morning.
If you show up around 9 o'clock in the morning, we will get you in the tournament.
So if you just show up, you need goggles,
yes,
a pair of gloves, and a good set of shoes, and that's basically about it.
Yeah, and here's the good news about that. If you don't have that stuff and you just want to show up and you get here and you think you want to give it a try, we'll have stuff for you.
That's as simple as that.
It's just like that. Easy deal.
You know, Dick would like this a lot.
He would love it.
He would really be into it. It is back this year in September instead of the cold and the raw of April during the Apple Blossom Festival, the third annual Dick Piper 3-wall handball tournament right here at Walla Walla Point Park. Show up before 9 o'clock on Saturday the 13th. Bring some cash because there is a small entry fee, or you can go to the website you see on the screen and get signed up in advance. If you're going to sign up in advance on the website, what's the deadline for that?
I don't actually know, but it's usually a week before the tournament.
Last question, and we'll cut you loose. Who are these 5 strong gentlemen behind us playing?
Well, this is Eric. Steve is the tall guy, Clancy, and Sal.
Cool.
And they're all Wenatchee handball players, and they're all good guys.
As are you, Mike. Thanks for taking some time out and visiting with us.
You betcha. It's good to see you.
All
again.
right. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Experience the music of ABBA with Abra Cadabra, coming to the Wenatchee Valley for the first time this fall at the America Performing Arts Center, September 21st. Don't miss this family-friendly stage extravaganza, receiving rave reviews from coast to coast. For tickets and info, go to iloveabba.com. That's iloveabba.com.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority. Let's do a quick little AQI checkup here in the Wenatchee Valley. 61 on the air quality index. That, of course, is moderate. Everybody in our viewing area is in that moderate area, right around between 61 to about 68 or 69, with the exception of, you guessed it, Aniat. You're at 174. That's just, that air is unfit to breathe. And why? Well, the lower Sugarloaf fire is now over 15,000 acres. It's still burning, and there's no wind, so there's no place for the smoke to go. It's going up, and it's going right down the Aniat River Valley and making the air in Aniat not particularly pleasant. It's not too bad right here. What's the weekend looking like from the National Weather Service? That way, if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. 88 our high today with haze and smoke all day today. That is about 10 degrees. degrees above normal. It's been an abnormally warm September. That's going to continue. Haze continues tonight, right around 60 for the overnight low. They say not as hazy tomorrow and still mild, 88, which is very warm for mid-September. And then, thank goodness, some beneficial rain finally works our way Sunday afternoon. Between about 2 to about midnight is our best chance of measurable rain, about a 40% chance of rain. I wish it was a 140% chance of rain, but beggars can't be choosers. Considerably cooler. And then that system that's going to bring us the rain Sunday afternoon will be exiting on Monday, and high pressure is on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with temperatures again above normal. That's it for us. Have a good and safe weekend. We'll see you Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.